All right, guys, what's going on? It's Jack, and welcome back. So, yes, you are watching Modern Warfare gameplay, and yes, it is brand spanking new. I just reinstalled the game, and I just started playing it. But after 6 hours or so, I don't think I'll ever touch it again. And this is not going to be a hate on Modern Warfare video, actually. It's going to be something actually more, a lot more, how do I put this? A lot more closer to the chest, so to speak. Something that actually kind of means a lot to me. And I have two things to think, two people that, well, actually one person to thank and the game itself to thank, because, well, Modern Warfare kind of reminded me of something that I actually remembered a long time ago, and I'm going to get right into it. So I'm going to take you right how all this shit started, right? So yesterday I was watching PwnStars.com stream, and for those of you guys that aren't as familiar with him, he's basically, long story short, he is one of the best, if not the best, Call of Duty pub player to ever play. And in my opinion, if he wanted to, he could have gone competitive, but he didn't. Right now, he basically plays on PC. For the last few years, he's been back on PC, kind of back to his gaming origins, so to speak. But on console, he used to absolutely do the same thing that he's doing right now with PC, and it's absolutely amazing. So, and over the years, this guy has actually played a crucial part into my success in becoming a better Call of Duty player, because I've watched countless hours of his videos time and time again, and I've watched his videos over and over, by the way, too. Studying, just watching and re-enjoying the gameplay, just studying, as well as other players. But I'd say he's the one who's probably had the biggest influence on me in terms of gameplay. Because for me, I've always wanted to get good, and the thing is, I did, and I have, and I continue to get better, and he continues to inspire. But with more recent times, I mean, I'm watching what he's doing with Modern Warfare, and I'm just like in awe, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna reinstall the game, and I'm gonna try to do exactly what this guy's doing, except I'm gonna go for it on console, right? But after about 6 hours or so, and feeling my blood pressure start to raise after the first 3 hours, I actually started to ask myself a very important question, probably the most important question that, in terms of gaming, anybody could ask themselves. And that question is, are you enjoying this? And it was very simple. I mean, I almost bullshitted myself, but the answer was very simple. No, I was not. And I knew for a fact that it had absolutely nothing to do with me losing or whatever. No, it was more because I was annoyed because of the way this game is designed. But the thing is, it's like, okay, let me put it to you this way. During the World War II days, when I was going back and forth and playing older Call of Duties, because World War II wasn't exactly my favorite, so to speak, I took a 4 to 6 month break and I played Halo. I played Halo 5, and I played nothing pretty much except but competitive play. I played the ranked playlist with legit skill-based matchmaking and everything like that. And I got my ass handed to me more often than not, but I started to get better, right? But here's the thing. I enjoyed it. See, that's the thing. And even though I was getting my ass handed to me, the type of gameplay that game provided and offered, I actually enjoyed. And as a matter of fact, I enjoyed it more than any other Halo game, because that Halo 5 specifically it favored movement while combining the base Halo gameplay that Halo is known for, except it was sped up a little bit, and then of course there was movement involved as well. And it was an arena style shooter. So for me, I'm all about that. And despite the fact that I was losing a lot of gunfights, despite the fact that I was having trouble aiming because it works a lot different than what COD does, and because the aim assist in Halo actually was like not nearly as strong as it was in previous titles, all those things together, and as well as being inspired by the pros as well, because I've seen a lot of pro gameplay at the time. I was just so amazed of how well they aimed and all that other stuff, their movement. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take 4 to 6 months, or I'm going to take an X amount of time until I just feel like playing COD again. And I'm going to do my best to become better at Halo. And the good news is I succeeded during that time. And I went through the ringer, and I was more often than not, and it was on stream as well back then. I don't think it's on the VODs anymore, but trust me when I tell you, I got my ass handed to me a lot at Halo. But I was able to get good gameplay footage, and it was all ranked. And I was actually very proud of just the amount of progression I was able to make in that game. But the thing is, at the base of everything, it was because I enjoyed it. And then I started asking myself another question, is like, Jack, what do you have to prove? In terms of Call of Duty, what do you have to prove? And do you have to prove anything to anybody? I mean, first of all, I've already done that thanks to this channel. But the most important thing in life is you got to prove something to yourself. It's not about proving it to other people, because all in all, fuck what other people think. People can think anything all they want. Like, for instance, every single person that sees this video can think I'm the biggest piece of shit simply because I dislike Modern Warfare, or I don't like the gameplay that it provides, or should I say the way it punishes movement or whatnot. You know, and I'm sure there are some of you that might see this video or that have seen my videos that think that I'm an utter piece of shit, and that's completely fine. But at the same time, I know enough in life, and as I get older, I'm learning this even more, that I shouldn't give I shouldn't give a fuck what you think. The only thing that matters, respectfully speaking, is what I think in terms of myself. You guys can have your opinions, and that's fine. But when it comes to myself, the biggest opinion that matters the most is me. And if there was anybody else in my life that would matter, it would be that significant other, which I don't have. But those are the only things in terms of whose thoughts I truly take to heart in terms of what they think of me. Because if I sat here and worried about trying to be like somebody else, or worried about too much of what other people think, it's basically like a self-destruct button on your life. So all of a sudden I was like, why am I trying to replicate what this man is doing? Everybody's got their strengths and weaknesses in their life. There are pros and cons to what everybody's capable of doing and what they're able to stomach in life. Everybody's got their strengths and weaknesses. And it kind of reminds me of back when I was teaching martial arts, where I was making very little money, definitely not enough money to survive on my own. And I sacrificed all my 20s in order for a career that led me nowhere. But you know what? During the time that I did it, up until close to the end or whatnot, I actually enjoyed it, and I was able to go through quite a lot of things that a lot of people were asking me, how the fuck am I doing it? And my answer to their question, and these were parents as well, telling me, how are you dealing with all these kids, 40 kids at a time for hours and hours and hours every day, Monday through Friday, during the summer, working even more hours, up to 50 a week. You're obviously not making that much money, so on and so forth. And it was because I enjoyed it, and I really wanted to get to a certain point. I mean, I really wanted to get to a certain point in terms of what I was capable of doing from both a teaching perspective as well as a performance perspective in terms of what I was able to do with my own skill. And overall, I accomplished everything I ever wanted to, and then some. But I enjoyed it. And the thing is, if you're not enjoying it, and if you don't have anything to prove, and who gives a fuck what other people think, then why the hell do it? So these last 6 hours or so, these last 6 hours of playing this game have kind of brought me back to that. And it was kind of like one of those friendly reminders of like, first of all, Jack, you've got nothing to prove, and you can't be like him no matter how much you try, because some people are able to handle certain things and some people are not, from both a skill standpoint as well as in terms of how they feel standpoint. So in the first sign of all this was when I felt my blood pressure skyrocket, due to not the frustration of, like, let's say I was getting more frustrated the fact that I just couldn't move, or that I would spawn in and I would die instantly from God knows what angle for somebody that just sat there and did nothing. So so for me it was really frustrating, and on top of that, it just wasn't enjoyable, because I don't enjoy the passive play style. I enjoy movement. So for those of you guys that have been here long enough, you more than know that. The thing is, for some other people out there that enjoy this game, for instance, they enjoy the fact that there is a very passive element to it, kind of like a cat and mouse game, or kind of like how every game mode feels like search and destroy. And search and destroy is very popular in Call of Duty. So some people favor movement, some people do not. So the thing is, this game just really isn't built for me. And you know what? I've come to realize that, and I've come to be like, okay, that's fine. And nobody can tell me that I'm not good at Call of Duty, because that's bullshit. And you can't really judge a person's skill off of just one game. It's overall many games. And let's say there's 10 Call of Duty games that I've played over the last 8 years. I am very good at 9 of them. So the thing is, I've got nothing to prove. It's simple as that. So the lesson is that if any of you guys are younger, and if you could take anything out of this, it's like, it's all about how you feel and how you see yourself, and try not to worry about what other people might think, and actually try not to 100% mimic somebody else. Like, mimic is the ultimate form of flattery. There's no doubt about it. But you're always going to be you. And no matter how much you try, you're always going to be the person that you're meant to be, and who you are as a person. And you know what? That's okay. There's nothing wrong with being yourself. You know, there's always things that we all can work on and get better at. But no matter what, and no matter how much you try to change something, even though you can always improve it, you're always going to be yourself. and that's perfectly fine. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to kind of talk about this and talk a little bit closer to the chest, so to speak. I know there's probably only going to be very few of you that see this video because this is not your type of video, so to speak, and that's not what you're here to watch. But for those of you guys that that like pretty much all the content I make, first of all, thank you. It's very humbling. And I hope you guys gain something out of this. And I hope if you've forgotten what I just remembered going through all this, hopefully my commentary and the gameplay here, as well as what I had to say, kind of helped remind you of that as well. And hopefully it made your day just a little bit better. And with all that being said, guys, that concludes the commentary. And please stay safe out there. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, let me know. And if you didn't, let me know what I could do to make myself... Let me know what I could do to make my videos better. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.